50er. No, I've just turned 85. I've been practicing law for 60 years. I've been representing most of the labor unions in Oklahoma for 50 years. In this local, I've been honored and privileged to represent for 55 years. So I've been around a long time. I've seen a lot of you all out here many, many times. I'm so honored to come here and be a part of this because this is so important for people who are retired. I'm the age I am, but I'm not retired. I'm still practicing law 7 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week. But about 22 years ago, I started representing children with disabilities under the federal law. Kids like autistic kids, brain damaged kids, ADHD kids, the whole gamut of disabilities. And I thought, well, I've been practicing labor law for all these years, and this is going to be, it's very adversarial in labor practices. Ed Allen and everybody else out here who's represented unions knows. I thought how nice it's going to be to be involved in representing kids and dealing with schools. It's going to be so much more comforting because schools, after all, are really out there for the kids. Guess what? I found out that most of the time, these schools are not out there for the children. They really and truly are not. The parents that come to me for help with their disabled kids are being run over by most of these schools like a steamroller. And I wanted to come here today because I know that there are a lot of grandparents who are taking care of children, their grandchildren. How many of you are, any of you here are? I see some hands go up. Well, I just want you to know that if you have a problem with your grandchild or you know of a child who is having a problem in school with disabilities, just tell them to give me a call. I am now, fortunately or unfortunately, the only attorney in the state of Oklahoma that does represent children. And about 80% of my kids are autistic. And so just give me a call. I'll be more than happy to try to help you determine what's best for your child. Let me also say, I'm going to change the direction here, but several years ago I was involved with my grandchild who needed our protection. I went and found out that in the state of Oklahoma, there are no laws that protect grandparents' rights. Are you all aware of that? And I think one of the things that this organization ought to do is to try to encourage our state representatives to go out and try to pass a law that would give grandparents some rights with their grandchildren. I found out I couldn't even see my grandchild. I could be denied access to my grandchild, and I was absolutely dumbfounded that there were no rights, no laws that protected the rights of grandparents. So I think this is a goal that this organization ought to really try to focus on. Get our state legislature to pass, Gerald, did you ready to talk to our state representatives about passing a law that would give grandparents some damn rights, because we don't have any right now. The last thing I wanted to mention is about insulin. I too am type 2 diabetes, and I don't know what the heck's going on. I went to Walgreens, and they wanted to charge me like $155 for insulin. And so I went over to Walmart, just kind of by accident. They sell insulin for about $25 a bottle. And it's the same stuff, and so I get that. Matter of fact, I buy several bottles of it to use. But so go, if you're looking for insulin, you can go to Walmart, and it's like $25. And the last thing I want to mention to you is about voting. We had two wonderful people up here, Senators Hicks and hopefully Senator Horn. Look, you guys, elections count. The problems that we're having now is because we don't get off our fannies and get out there and vote our pocketbooks and our interests. We're out here voting sometimes on guns or this or that. We ought to start voting for people who are going to protect our pocketbooks and our interests. And Kendra Horn, I think it would be an absolutely fabulous senator. I'd love to see her up there. I watched last night. Last night I was watching Bill Maher. You all might not like Bill Maher, but I was. He had Michael Moore on, you know, the guy that did Bowling the Columbine and all these. Michael Moore predicted back in, I guess it was 2016, that we would lose the election, and nobody believed him. But Trump, he predicted that Trump would be elected, and by God, he was. So, but last night he said he really and truly thinks that we could keep the House and keep the Senate if we all get out and vote. So please get out there and vote for your grandkids and for your pocketbook and for your ideals. Thank you very much.